all right. Anyone who opposed to the recording has the option of not joining the meeting or voice the objections. Hearing none at the moment, let's progress with the meeting agenda. So the first item on the meeting agenda is to approve the meeting minutes of last week. Also of a couple of weeks ago, I noticed that Jane has sent out an email with the link to the minutes of the meeting on the 28th of February. So here is the full contents of the meeting minutes. I'm not sure everyone has a chance to read the minutes and identify any issues that needs to be ratified. My understanding is that the meeting minutes has at least been vetted by the other co-chairs who were at the meeting and are good to go from the co-chairs perspectives. So we have the option of going ahead with the voting for acceptance or to defer it for the next meeting for approval to give people a bit more time. So anyone wants to move that the meeting minutes of the last meeting be approved for adoption, and then we have someone second, and then we then open up for discussion as to whether or not we want to defer it.
I'm happy to move, Stephen.
Okay, thank you, Jane. We have Jane moving. Can we have a seconder?
I'll second, Michael.
Hi, Michael. Thank you for seconding that. So now we can open for discussions. The first question that I have is, do we want to defer this approval until the next meeting, giving people a bit more time? Okay, hearing no response to that, so I will assume that we are happy to progress with the approval. We won't go through the online polling as a matter of expediency. We don't have a lot of people joining the call. We only have 15. So I would call to the questions. Anyone who want to abstain from approving the meeting minutes? All right, hearing none. Anyone wants to oppose to the approving these minutes as they are displayed on the screen? All right, hearing none, then the meeting minutes is approved by consensus. We have 16 who has attended who show up in the participant list. So minus the chair, so we have 15-0-0. So that first order of the meeting minutes is approved. And second one will be action arising from previous minute. I have taken a quick browse through the meeting minutes of the last meeting. I don't see any outstanding action items unless I have missed anything. I'm happy to stand corrected. Okay, hearing no dissent, so I will assume that I will take it that factually that there is no action item arising from the previous meeting. Moving to agenda item number 3, news and updates from Brett. Over to you, Brett.
Oh, cool. So I guess the biggest news is that the AU Core ballot has opened. So the publication's gone out and the ballot is open. We have voters registered. So if you've registered to vote, that will be are all available there. If there's anything needed in terms of assistance with voting or anything like that, I think contacting me is probably the best idea, or admin@hl7.com.au. Yeah.
Brett,
And there is,
can I suggest that we put the email address you just mentioned in this meeting minutes under item
will do that
number
right
3,
now.
so therefore people
Yep.
can know how to reach you if they have questions.
Yeah, cool. And yes, this is the first time. I expect this will be new. So yeah, I think have a go. There is some supporting material as well, in terms of like demonstrations of driving Jira to vote and things like that. I will drop those links in the minutes as well. So yeah, there's just a couple of assistive pages that have a bit of a walkthrough of doing things.
That will be wonderful. Thank you, Brett. So
Cool.
still on that still on that agenda item, anyone has any questions that you want to raise and have Brett or Daniel answering those any questions that you may have? All right. Okay. Hearing none, so we will move beyond that agenda item. As I indicated, Brett will provide an email address to for anyone who wants to contact him for any questions that you may have. So you have an avenue to follow up on that. So for today's meeting, there are 6 agenda items. Number 1 is to check some 3 previously approved uh, Jira tickets or GitHub tickets, and Brett will take carriage of that. And the second one will be to confirm or hold any of those items. And then the third one will be about the ETP issues. So for those 3 items, Brett will take carriage of them and we'll move on to them once we have gone past the review of the draft agenda. So the fourth item is let's take a look at the face-to-face meeting that's happening next week. And here is the draft agenda. And if you look at this meeting minutes, that agenda that we put together, there is a linkable, clickable link there that will bring you to the agenda for you to peruse. And then I will also look at post the face-to-face whether or not we want to cancel the meeting on the 27th. I have some informations to update this group on, and then we can make a decision. And then any other business that we might want to discuss. So on that draft agenda, anyone has any suggestion, any changes that you want to make? Okay, hearing now no disagreement to the draft agenda. So item number 1, the previous approved ticket items, Brett, the floor is yours. Take it away.
Yeah. So
You want me
I
to
think
stop sharing
yeah.
so that you can
Oh
stop?
yeah.
You can share. Okay. Yeah.
Actually, I got to take minutes too. Maybe if you could hit the link for me.
Okay. I will.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
will
that's good.
put it up.
Yeah,
You can take
perfect.
notes, Brett.
Yeah, I'm on notes.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
All right.
Cool. So, yeah. So basically, this is kind of triaging the issues that have been logged into GitHub for originally the PA working group and all the other working groups, but logged against AU base. So yeah, I was just like, I think all of these items, I don't necessarily think we need to get into the detail, but I would like to get a plan of action for some of these, and that may affect the agenda for the face-to-face if we can maybe have a plan that disposes of these before the face-to-face meeting. So I think it might be, so worth going through some of these and just deciding what to do with these, and some may be more difficult than others. So, but I've tried to group them into different sort of classes of things. Some of them we have talked about already, but I think this is more just maybe reviewing that, making sure we're following up on anything that needs doing as well. So these first three were things that had been marked for approval in previous meetings. Now, if we go back to this, some of these were actually approved by the PA working group, so probably need, and one from the meds working group before the FHIR working group was formed. So I just wanted to check these and say, and sort of say, do we need to come back on these and review them in detail again, and or make a decision. So the first one is supporting NDIS as an insurance as an identifier. So I think we had a discussion on this before it was decided we would like to have this. So I think that one is approved. But I think we had one thing we were deciding what the URL was. Yeah. And that was the main thing. And I see Danielle has her hand up.
Yeah, I mean, I do remember us saying this is a thing we wanted to work on, but what does approved mean? Because it wouldn't be the equivalent of resolved, like, okay, this can just go straight in without coming back to this group.
No. Yeah. I think that, we reached a position that we would draft it with a correct URL, which was yet to be determined. So I think we sent Richard Townley O'Neill off to see if the agency could raise us one as a national
there's more things to
identifier.
do on that as well. Like,
Yep.
I think I don't think that's the only thing that was left to do. I think there's actually more to do for it.
Do we have a list of outstanding items that needs to be done to address this ticket?
Unless it's in the ticket.
Okay, yeah, I do.
Or
I
it's in
do
the
agree that we were on
minutes.
that one of
Do
them
you,
was the
do
URL.
you want me to click on this one so therefore we can
Yeah,
expand?
can we see? Yeah, can we
Yep.
see that one? Yeah, just to see. Yeah, so that would be related to a meeting, that October 11th comment.
Because we still had comments like use cases need to be reviewed as this patient and or insurance number there. So I think this needs a proposal and for that to come back.
So in that case, then my suggestion
Right.
is for us to list the items that are still outstanding that needs to be addressed, and then I work out a plan as to how to address those items. And if we need a proposal, that will be sort of included as one of those action plans. So do we have a proposed list?
I guess also because Richard's on the line, and Richard was, I think, the last person taking this forward on. Is there an update on this one, Richard?
Unmute. No, I'm embarrassed to say that I've dropped the ball on this one, so I have no update.
I think, I'm happy to, because it needs expansion into things to do. And Richard, that'd be good if we could follow up on the URL need, but there's other things too there that need to be spelled out. So I guess we need someone to own it. So I could own it.
I think it'd be good that someone owns it, but so far I've heard two things that still needs to be done. Number one is the URL, and number two a set of use cases. So is there anything more than those two items?
I think we need a profile proposal.
And then
We do a
the
draft
third thing
profile, yeah.
is we need a profile proposal.
Yep.
Any other actions that still needs to be considered?
I think that would progress it. So I'm
Okay,
happy. Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Let's identify
Cool.
those three action items, and
Yep.
and Brad will be the owner of this ticket, and Richard will follow up on the URL. All right. Do we have anyone volunteer to come up with a set of use cases? No? Okay, we can take it offline,
Yeah.
and we can
I
sort of bring
yeah,
someone, but
I'm happy. I'm happy to own that problem. In terms of I'll go back because it was raised as part of AU core business. Yeah. So I
okay,
think we'll go and find who. Yeah, go
well,
and find
I'll
who
leave
needs
it
it.
leave it
Yeah.
to you to find someone who will come up with a set of use cases, and
Yeah.
then I'll leave it to you to follow up on the profile proposal. All right.
Cool.
So 3 action items are clearly documented, and we have owner. So do we want to have a checkpoint date?
Um, I think if we could just go next meeting, that would be
Okay.
good for me. Which that'll be quite a while away now. So
All
yeah.
right, let's put the checkpoint date as to the next virtual meeting, which will be after the 27th of
Yeah.
March, which will give you enough
Yeah.
time to
Yeah.
progress some actions on them. All right,
Yeah.
second item.
Okay, cool. So this was one that was done originally in the PA working group, related to this was related to some provider details work, and it was if we click into that one, it's
Yep.
it was a proposal on the practitioner qualification element, which is basic qualifications that a clinician has, to create a suitable code system that included all of the um, types of colleges. So this was something that was often recorded, such as like the College of Surgeons, College of Pathologists, and so forth as a membership. And so there was the desire to have a recognized code system and value set to support that. And there was a source which is listed there at the bottom, which is the essentially accredited organizations for the specialist medical colleges, and it was intended that that would be the source of information for what would be in that set. So that would become an HL7 Australia set managed in AU base probably at this stage.
All right. Any outstanding action items to progress this one forward?
I don't know, David McKillop was the original raiser this a long time ago. Did you have any comments, David?
I
David,
don't see
yeah.
David on
Oh,
this
he was here
call.
before. Oh,
David's
sorry.
on the call.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it
he's
David?
Call.
He's-
On the call, I'm just trying to think.
Okay.
It was a long time ago.
My
Yeah.
apology. I thought that you were not on the call.
It is literally 2 years ago, more.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah.
3 weeks ago is testing my memory. So.
Yeah. So, but I think it was related to some of the provider directory content in terms of having useful information. And we had a very difficult, actually having qualifications that were useful to record is quite a difficult task in terms of sort of education qualifications, but the college membership was quite clear, and we thought that was a good thing to do because it was pretty clear as to which colleges existed and that you were part of the college or not. Yeah, and Richard.
This can eventually be extended to the various allied health equivalents to colleges, whatever they're called. They're not called colleges, but the various allied health modalities, specialities, whatever the term is, have similar structures that provide accreditation. And I don't think that needs to be part of the initial set, but I think the design should be open enough to allow that as a future expansion.
Yeah, if we create the value set as extensible, then that would address that problem. But I think the first action items, set of action items that we need to determine is number one, who owns this ticket, and number two, what are the open actions that still needs to be done.
Yeah, my thought was not so much that it initially be extensible, but that its definitions be broad enough to allow it to be extended to, to medical, I don't know what the term is, areas rather than just the colleges, and so that the definition allow its expansion without a redefinition.
I get you.
So we'll look into the definitions of the value set as part of the work that needs to be done.
Yeah, because I think the proposal is because there's already an existing V2 set. I'm not sure how that's bound, but we would say we would create an extension. Extension value set. Extend the concept, so we would have a coding system to add to that, which would be the colleges. So it would be effectively general purpose in the finding. Danielle?
I had a query on, is this proposing to create a HL7AU terminology and source codes from, I guess, multiple sources and therefore manage, I guess, what is the right level of defining a qualification code and which are parent codes and which aren't? Or was this the proposal to have a FHIR terminology resource version of the that acm.org.au set of terminology?
Yeah.
I'm quite comfortable if the point of this is to have a like a terminology version of a known source of qualifications, and if we ever need to move to something else, we could, I guess, change that.
Yeah, because at the moment there's a binding. So this is qualification code, and there's an example binding, which
I guess I'll state further that is this at all related to provider directory? Would provider directories have qualification in it?
Yeah, I think this is a good question about whether there's any drive to do this at all. Is another question, maybe. But it is, it was suggested back in the day.
Do we have some PCA folks on the line who might be able to shed light on that?
Yeah.
Rachel, if you're speaking,
Rachel?
now we can hear you. Sorry, Rachel, I can see that you've gone off mute, but we can't hear you.
Hi guys.
Good. Yep. Good.
Yes. Awesome. Sorry. So PCA, Provider Connect Australia, doesn't have any immediate need for this. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
I think-
it's a candidate. Yeah. Go on, David.
I remember doing this. Yeah, this has come back to me, but there was just a lacking of anything that was usable in the current list, value sets or code systems for Australian use. There was some best option was something on Wikipedia or whatever, and it was just would have been good to have something more definitive. And I think the thing was that we'd have to create it and manage it.
Yeah. I think that's right. Yeah. So I guess it's a use case question again, really, about what's the driver.
So I'm in the interest of time, I'm going to time box this one so therefore we can move forward because we have a number of other items to progress. So with regarding to this ticket, we need scoping of the value set. We need definition. We need with regarding scoping, we need use cases. And we need owners of those action items. Do we need proposals?
Yeah. I think number one is who wants it.
Okay, so we need
Yeah,
scoping. We need use cases. And we need definitions, and we need people who own it. So anyone wants to step up to own this ticket, and so therefore we can progress the action items of scoping, use cases, and definitions, and then the value set.
Nobody owns it. We don't need it.
Yeah, if nobody wants to own it, the HL7 rule is that if nobody wants to own it, then this item won't get progressed, and that's the bottom line. So if nobody wants to own it, then you unfortunately will get dropped.
Yeah, I think we can put it in the parking lot if.
All right, but
Yeah, I was
sorry.
just going to say, what's the process if in the future PCA were to have a requirement for this? Could I then take ownership of this ticket?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So I
But
think
yeah, we don't have any immediate need, so I'm unable to.
Yeah, I think I think we'll find as we go through this exercise, there are a number of tickets in this bucket where there's kind of there's no immediate driver for some of this. So if there's no one that needs to drive it forward, it's very difficult to
So
to do
Brett,
anything.
Brett, let's
Cool.
document this item as to action that's required to progress this. Action number 1 is scoping. Action number 2 is use cases. Action number 3 is definitions of the value set, and then number 4 is the value set itself. So those are the 4 action items that needs to be done to progress this ticket. And in the absence of any owners stepping up for this ticket would then go onto the parking lot, and any future owners who wants to resurrect this ticket can take a proposals to this group and get this action item resurrected.
Yeah.
Great, no worries. I've made a note of that ticket, so if PCA does have a need for that, then I'll be happy to take ownership and complete those action items.
Thank you. Danielle, you have your hand up.
I have a process question because we're moving to Jira, and I think part of what this the triage we're doing now is about which ones do we move to Jira. So based on what we've just said, can I understand that? Does that mean we're moving the support for NDIS one? That should now be like migrated to
ticket,
Jira.
Yeah.
And the one that we've just talked about, does that mean it stays in GitHub? Or does it like go over and then we set it to some status like deferred or something?
My suggestion is that we shouldn't be migrating in piecemeal. We should migrating them all into Jira, and then the ticket that has no owner will be marked as sort of a backlog to be addressed in future.
Yeah, so I think it would be good to cull off anything we don't want to move to Jira. That would be good. So yeah, I'm happy. Like I'm happy to own creating a ticket for this one.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, third item, Brett, time is running away.
Yeah, I know.
So sorry
I'm going
sorry to be a
yeah.
time Nazi,
No,
but
no. Yeah, I wasn't planning to get into it too much, but if these ones are sorted, that's good. Yeah. So the last one, the last one was actually medications working group a long time ago. Since March 2019, there, we were talking about creating a profile to share drug coding across multiple profiles. So request, administration, medication statement, and dispense. So whilst that was decided, I think that would be a good candidate maybe to say this is now really an AU core issue, and would probably get completely reviewed as part of the AU core work anyway. So I would move we just say this is an AU core issue and close this ticket. Yeah.
It's how you call one. I'd kick it
You
right
like that one?
back.
Do you like
Because
that?
there are slices in AU base. I don't think we can just move it to AU core and say you can do whatever you want, because AU core can't.
No,
Because we
but I
have
think
slices defined in the profiles.
yeah. So yeah,
And this
I
proposal is to change the AU base profiles from
Operation,
slices to
yeah.
data types. I think we've also got a competing set that we talked about, additional bindings, which wasn't available at the
Yeah,
time, and I
wasn't
think is
available.
actually going to
better.
address this.
Yeah. Okay. So do we say this? I think so. Do we say this needs a specific review then? And
Yes, in the context of additional bindings, I think the action we have to take is to review what steps we want to take to, I guess, whatever we call it, clarify medications terminology in AU base.
yeah. Considering all the tools we have now. Yeah. In a base.
And I think we can consider the additional bindings, and is there a data types? Do we retain slices and sort of do a piece of work that is that?
Yeah. Additional findings. Cool. So
can you?
who can do that?
Brett, can you? We making a motion. Can you clearly state the motion?
Well, I think the motion is to do a review on. I think it is pretty much what Danielle said. So create a motion to say, motion to have a task to clarify medications terminology use in AU base.
So in that case, then I don't think that we need a motion. So we just need a few action items. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, I'm not sure. Because some of this is probably a technical modeling question about how we go about it. Because I don't think we're opening the need for any of these bindings and anything like that. But we probably.
And we're not proposing that
Yeah.
GTN is no longer relevant to Australia.
Exactly. Yeah.
There will likely be some non-compatible changes potentially. I'm happy, hopefully Brett as well, to own this. I think it does have relevance to AU core, and I'll pull in a couple of other people from AU core for us to do some work on it.
Cool. Yeah, cool.
All right.
And can I also ask, is there anyone on the line who's interested to join that? Because I'm not interested in this being a closed piece of work. Anyone kind of join the club as we work out what to do with the medications and bring it back to this group?
I'll be involved.
Okay, Michael Osborne.
Michael, excellent. Good.
I'll be involved, Richard Townley O'Neill.
Okay.
This strikes me as basically being a refactoring exercise. We've done it one way, we could do it another way, and this issue is to say, let's do it the other way.
Yeah, I think there's some good options.
That does have some system obligation implications, which I think are actually improved I think we can get to that, but it might have them.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, cool.
In the interest of
Thanks, Nicole.
time, Brett, we document the action item. We document people who are interested, and can you also leave an email address for people to approach you if there are other people who are interested?
Can do.
Awesome. All right. Any other discussions on these three items? If not, mindful of time, we will progress. So action number 2 actually is also related to action number 1, isn't it? Do we need to go through them?
I'm not going to open those ones.
You're not going to open that one.
No, I'm going to talk to it and see what people think. So
Okay.
In general, so there's a number of items that are listed in GitHub that I pretty much read, wouldn't it be a good idea if there was a better terminology for this, without any specific proposal or any particular use case or goals. So there's a number of those, like there's 4 items there that I kind of put into the needs a proposal bucket, because it was more of a suggestion, as it wouldn't be good if we had something better. So I don't know if we need to spend time on those, unless they're more fully formed. And there is, it might be worth it. So therefore so I think maybe it would be good to maybe get that into an e-vote and get people to look at those, and maybe try to go for a block vote to close those 4 and see if there's any objection to that, because I think I can put a premise as to what that is about, and maybe do that.
I'd be happy to motion to move that to a block e-vote.
Yeah. So
okay,
that's like
we have a mover. Daniel move those 4 items.
Need a proposal. Yep.
That need a proposal. Anyone who want to second that?
Sorry, would you clarify what the proposal again? The proposal is to close them because they're underdefined. Is that right?
Yes.
No.
Well, they're more suggestions that they're basically just an improvement suggestion that doesn't actually have any basis and or actual proposal how to improve them. So so
so they're of the form, make this better rather than improve this by doing
it'd be good if we it's basic. It would be good if we did some work on this kind of things.
Okay.
So I don't think that means that they're not a good idea. I just think it would be good if we could get into the habit of trying to scope and have use cases and do those things as part of raising the tickets. I guess though there is a call that maybe things are worthwhile doing, but and people might want to promote that.
Well, let's just say
I'll
put a motion to move that to electronic vote for this group, which someone can still tag refer to telecom.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
say,
I think that's what I want. Yeah.
Daniel, as a clarification, are you proposing moving to EVO for A or B, or A and B?
They are 2 separate votes.
Yeah.
The first one, need a proposal, is that what I'm actually, you know what? Why don't we change it up? I will motion that we move to electronic vote for A and electronic vote for B.
Yep.
I would be happy with
in
that.
In that case, then let's take it separately. So there is a motion to move electronic vote for A. Anyone second that?
Sorry, what's A and what's B?
So needed confirming. So these are the sets that either for a proposal to close. So we have there's a set that I've called need a proposal, which means they don't have actually a specific proposal in them, and there's also a set that are proposed to close, which are things that I think are no longer relevant or otherwise not it all may have been done. Some of them have been done. So I think I will take that's good. So I think that's what the content
So what would happen if we approve the motion to move to electronic vote for NETA proposal is an electronic vote would be created, which would say what the tickets are and what
Yep.
what is to be voted on. So you could go link and look at them with a ability to approve or abstain or refer to telecom or vote negatively on that through Confluence. And that's what would happen if we approve the motion to electronic vote.
Yep. So we have a motion. Do we have a seconder?
I'll second it, Richard.
Thanks,
Thank you, Richard. All right. Any further discussions on this A? Any clarifications that you folks need? All right. Hearing none, let's call to the question. Anyone who wants to abstain? All right. Hearing none. Anyone who wants to oppose? All right. Then the motion carries with 16-0-0 because we have 17 on record. All right. Same thing happened to item number 2B. Daniel, are you happy to make that? Oh, sorry.
I wondered if it's worth, I know looking at time, just a minute, Brett, to explain why these are different to NETA proposal, because you did explain about NETA proposal.
Yeah, I think NETA proposal was just a category, and that was more about a specific lack of an actual proposal in those items, whereas the other ones for proposed for closing, they're varied in nature. So I think as part of this, I would volunteer to actually put specific criteria in those tickets as to why they should be closed. And then that can be reviewed by people so they can look at each one and just go, yeah, this is the reason why. Yeah, they were triaged, and I think I should review the notes before the vote goes up. That's all. That's what I would say.
All right. Any other clarification required? If not, then can we move on I2B? We would entertain a motion.
I propose that 2B be treated the same as 2A.
All right. So Richard, Tony O'Neill move that we will progress 2B to electronic vote and treat it likewise to 2A. Anyone who want to second that?
I'll second it, Michael.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Michael. Any further clarifications or discussions required? All right, hearing none, let's call to the vote. All right, anyone abstains? All right, we've got 0. Anyone opposed? We've got 0, so we have the same vote. A motion carries 16-0-0. All right, item number 3. All right.
Oh, sorry. I have a quick question. How much is a quorum for an electronic vote like that?
The
Does
same
anyone know?
as our teleconferences.
Meeting. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Item number 3, medication ETP issues. Brett?
Yeah. So I was just going to do a quick overview of this particular topic, but I think this would be a good one. I think to talk about at the face-to-face. It is past history of some of the content of AU Base, and also some of the things that are in the backlog listed are directly related to electronic prescribing work. At the moment, we don't have any active projects looking at electronic prescribing specifically. And so there was just a question on how should we go about forming a party to deal with these issues, or whether we need to place them in a holding status until there's an opportunity to move into a active state on them. So I think this is more of a general question about how should we deal with this right now. There is a FHIR based ETP related specification, which is currently run as a industry spec, and it forms the basis of the ETP and active script list and my script list kind of work. But yeah, I think it would be good to discuss how we approach this in general.
Yeah, I think, all right, let's defer, in the interest of time, let's defer to the face-to-face meeting, but the general principle of HL7 governance sort of would apply, which means that things like that either needs to be taken up by a responsible work group or by responsible project. So let's bear in mind this HL7 governance principle, and then we will open this up for discussion at the face-to-face meeting to explore it further. Okay, all right. With that done, then the next item is the face-to-face meeting agenda for review. Hang on, where is that? Okay, this is the one. All right. So we have this draft meeting agenda for the face-to-face, the full day activity, starting from 11 a.m. To almost a full day to about 4:30. Brett and Daniel, I will leave it to two of you to walk us through if there are any specific things that we want to discuss.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
could
Can
I
you reload the page, whoever's sharing?
Okay, sure.
Awesome. Tap. Yeah, we were missing the up bit. It's there now. Is that big enough for everybody?
If I make it bigger,
Maybe
then
Zoom.
you won't be able to see everything. So I've actually have it on full screen. So hopefully it'll be big enough for everyone.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting that the votes we just had, maybe we can remove some of these unless there's specific referrals of particular items, I think. So it might be, I think there's proposed close and need proposal or close items there in the afternoon session that we could maybe handle through the e-vote process instead, unless there are specific things that we need to address. Yeah.
Sounds good to me, but I think my questions to the group is that are there any agenda items that you believe strongly should be put on this agenda list that is not already here? In the presence of silence, so I think we have the option of putting suggestions to the co-chairs for a new action items to be included, and we will review it as the first order of action for the day on at around 11 a.m. To look at whether or not anything else needs to be removed or added. Again, I would suggest that Brett include an email address for people to put in submissions for amendments to the draft agenda. So therefore, we can have some changes going into the face-to-face meeting, the first half hour or first 15 minutes to finalize the agenda item. Okay, with that, said,
I've got Ruben.
sorry.
Ruben's got his hand up.
Sorry, Ruben, I didn't see your hand. I was busy kind of switching between screens. Go ahead.
No worries, thank you. Look, there's two potential agenda items for the face-to-face, which I think might be worth discussing. First off, and these are both kind of out of the press, well, one of them is, the IB publisher, as of recently, has the ability to flag through the published spec rendering of changes to artifacts. So things that have changed in one release, on the release being built compared to a specific previous release, and flagging these in the spec that you view. You might see some of this in the snapshot of the extensions pack, which got published overnight. So what this means is IG maintainers can decide what their policy should be in terms of which versions get compared to, official versions or snapshots or versions for ballot, things like that. So it might be good to have a discussion on what we want our policy to be for things like AU base and AU core. And secondly, another new feature, which is quite imminent, I think, is the ability for the IG publisher to automatically generate object identifiers or OIDs for artifacts in the IG that's being produced. This is a feature which Graham's added just yesterday or the day before. So if we're interested in having OIDs for the artifacts in our IGs, that's something we can consider turning on. And if so, what we want to do around that. Just suggestions. Happy for you to take it or leave it.
Can I ask,
Right.
do you know what the driver was for the OIDs?
CDA.
Oh, oh, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Cool.
If you do put on the agenda, I'm happy to walk everyone through it and do the scene setting. Thanks.
I think it'd be good. Yeah, it'd be good to have a walk, brief walkthrough. That'd be good, I think, just to know what's possible. But I think definitely we should discuss the comparisons to other versions, capability, and how we might use it.
I agree.
It'd be good. Yeah.
Yep.
Could we do that on a virtual? Because that will make it a lot easier for people to like switch between screens and all that kind of thing.
Sorry, I missed the first part of that, Danielle.
I was suggesting that maybe for that one, a virtual would be better than a face-to-face, so that we could share screens and that kind of thing.
All right.
Virtual would also allow those of us who don't make it to the face-to-face to be able to see the likely to be informative presentations.
Isn't virtual available for the face-to-face as well? I thought that I've seen an email about that.
Have you?
Well, that's what I thought I've seen.
I
I
think
know
we
the
can make it.
symposium will be.
That's, yeah, it's a symposium.
Only the
Steve.
symposium. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, then we'll defer these important agenda items to
Sorry,
the
yep.
work group meeting after the face-to-face. Are you okay with that, Daniel? Ruben?
Yeah, I'm happy either way.
Okay. All right. In that case, then moving on with the agenda item, there is item number 5. We want to discuss whether or not the 27th of March work group meeting, which is the teleconference, so the Zoom meeting, do we want to host it or do we want to cancel it? There's a request that the agency wants to organize a face-to-face meeting with MSIA members on that day, which is capitalizing on the face-to-face MSIA physical meeting the day before. So I have raised an email request to for this to be considered for cancellation of the 27th of March virtual meeting or Zoom meeting for this work group. Just want to open it up for discussion.
Yeah, I think, Stephen, I would move to cancel that meeting, considering we're potentially a face-to-face the week before, and 3 days of HSM Australia is probably enough for everyone.
Sounds like a good idea. Then, Ruben, you have your hand up.
Yeah, sorry, I'm going to take the opposing view here and suggest that we do not cancel it because we are heading into Easter after that, and it'll be probably a while before we can have another meeting. So for that reason, I'd like to see if we can have it if we can.
I think hasn't the ADHA just organised a face-to-face session on that day as well that overlaps with the working group time.
Yeah, and that's the reason for one of the reasons for raising this as a discussion. And there will be a number of members from this work group. I will have to decide to attend one or the other. So hence the reason for considering the cancellation.
Yeah.
Can we just move it?
And Easter is the week. Is that
Yeah, it
end
is that
of
week.
that week?
Yeah.
End of that week. Yeah.
Yeah, but the Easter week, Easter's not until
It's off week.
Easter's Easter days won't fall into
No.
the Zoom call days, unless we consider that there will be a lot of people who go away on holiday.
Stephen,
Yeah.
could you maybe bring up the calendar so if we have a look, we can see if we can move it or cancel it.
I don't know where to find the calendar.
So
I will
go
stop
top
sharing.
left, go right up
Top?
to the left, and go
Oh,
up the
calendar.
top. There
Yeah,
it is,
okay.
calendars.
Yeah. Oh, you have to pick your time zone. That'll be exciting.
Hang on.
Oh, that's looking
That's right.
close to right. So yeah, that looks right.
That'll do. Cool. So it's got the click-a-thon on there. Yeah. Cool. Oh, it's out of day because of time zones.
Oh crap.
You need to log in and it'll show your time zone.
I'm already logged in.
Okay, maybe you haven't set your time zone. So
Oh yes, because if he hadn't,
Yeah.
that would show like. Oh no, that's right. This shows Greenwich
Yeah,
Mean
it's a
Time. That's
Yeah.
Greenwich Mean Time.
yeah,
Yeah, you need to set your time zone.
yeah. And look, others of us may want to know how to set our time zone. So
Sure, there's
It's
advice
in
on
your
the.
profile.
There's actually advice on the FHIR Work Group page. So right on the front of it, above the calendar widget, says how to change your time zone.
Yeah, if you hit the
So if you
HS7 Australia logo up there. Yeah.
yep, and scroll down there, it's got the little yellow note, calendar time zone.
Oh, Danielle, you're organized.
Yeah, I just know it's there because I put it there because
Where
I
is
ran
the
into this
yellow
problem.
widget?
There,
Where's the yellow
underneath the heading
It's
HS7.
there above the calendar.
Yeah. It says calendar time zone in yellow highlighting.
That was amazing. It was exactly the problem. There you go. There's the answer.
Just calendar time zone. The calendar may display Greenwich Mean Time. That text is just above the
above in the
calendar.
note. In the note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm
Amazing.
already logged into 807. I'm logged in. So
Click on your profile. Yep. Oh, you do it, Steven. Hit settings. Demonstration. There you go. Oh, yep. You're set to UTC. So you have to go edit. Pick a Sydney one.
all right. That's interesting. All right, let's go back to calendar.
Ah, yes, that looks better.
Cool.
Nice. That's on the right day. Cool. Haven't put on the public holidays, but 31st is Easter Sunday, so Friday is
It's the 29th.
29th.
Is when
Yeah.
Good Friday is.
And do you guys get Monday as a public
Yes.
holiday?
Yeah.
We don't get
So
Tuesday anymore. I don't think anyone.
no,
gets
we don't get Tuesday anymore.
Tuesday.
So
Yeah.
so if we cancel this one, do we want to have it on the 3rd or the week after?
So because there should be one on the 10th, which is the 10th of April, is the next spot, I believe. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. So there it is.
Yeah, and in fact, that will have that the ballot will be closed for EU core, and we may have things coming that are AU based related at that point. Anyway, that might be a different problem.
Any of the days earlier than the one we're considering cancelling available in that week?
So like have a
March.
weekend and then straight back to the FHIR Work Group.
Well, we all love this stuff, right?
Well,
It'll be a good opportunity to debrief for people who aren't able to attend while it's fresh in our minds. There's that upside.
true.
So the Friday's not available,
The Fri-
obviously, because
yeah,
that's the public holiday. So I guess we
Yeah.
could push it back to Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday works.
I don't know how many people will show up, but we could hold one and record it anyway. For
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be happy with that if we wanted to do a recap.
Now let's do that then.
What's
I think
happening?
that solves the MSIA conflict and gets us a meeting before the holidays.
We pick a time.
Do we have a good tool for offering 2 or 3 times and seeing which ones people like?
Apart from Doodle, you mean?
Yeah. So I mean, my suggestion would be the same time on the Tuesday, and some sort
Yeah.
of and some sort of poll thing, which lets people vote for an hour earlier or an hour later, depending, and then take the winner of that poll.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just seeing if there's any conflicts.
Kate Ebril has a conflict.
Yeah,
It's
I think
Kate's birthday.
that's a good one. I think there's an e-requesting internal meeting all day that I can see.
Is
A
there?
All
Spark
day.
meeting.
Wow.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Infrastructure and tooling. That will be a problem.
Well, we can just duck out of that for an hour for the fight, or hang on, if it's the same time,
Yeah, it's right in the middle.
yeah, that is a problem for me.
Yeah.
I could only come to part of it, but you know, I mean, you can hold it. You can hold it without me, that's for sure.
Yeah, I might be iffy as well. I should probably be in that meeting. God, yeah, I don't want to suggest Monday.
Why don't we just send out the
Um,
invite and people will
yeah.
decline or accept, ask people, can you, this one, please indicate if you can come or not, and then if we don't get enough people who will choose to attend, then just cancel it.
Yeah, so can we say
Yeah.
make a set of suggestions for Tuesday times, and
Yeah.
we'll just let people see where
think-
it falls. That's best, that most people can make it. Cool.
Yeah.
I'll mark me down to do that if you like. I'll just do a doodle poll. Unless we have any other volunteers. No, I didn't think so. So that's Tuesday, 26th. I just volunteered myself for that one. Stephen, you're on mute.
I'm sorry, I was talking in mute all the time. I said that, look, okay, Brett, action item on number 5 would be Brett will send out an online poll for moving it to the 26th of March. And we'll take collective decisions on that. Any other business? Okay, with no new business or additional business raised, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I will second.
Okay, all right. With that done,
Yep.
thank you everyone for participating. We achieved a lot today, and we'll see you next week at the face-to-face meeting for those of you who are participating. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thanks.